Welcome to Sabotage, the psychology of racing. And most drivers don't lose time because they're slow. They lose time because they don't understand racecraft. You can have the perfect lines, perfect inputs, and still get overtaken, outpositioned, and even outdriven. I'm going to break down the exact skills that separate fast drivers from smart drivers.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. God, you're ridiculous.
Most drivers think racecraft is about making moves, overtakes, late braking, and aggression. But racecraft isn't about the move. It's about everything that happens before it. Because at a certain level, everyone is fast. The difference is who understands how to use that speed, and most drivers don't.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Good racecraft isn't visible in highlights. It shows up in what doesn't happen. No contact, no wasted movement, and no unnecessary risk. And that comes down to 3 core behaviours. Avoiding contact isn't just about being careful. It's about processing information faster than the drivers around you. Good drivers are consistently asking, where is the overlap? What is their likely line? And what happens if I commit here? They're not reacting at the corner. They're making decisions before the braking zone. For example, if you're on the outside into a tight corner, a bad driver will try hang it there and hope the space exists. A good driver already knows if the inside car can hold the apex, if the exit will be compromised, and with the stay in there will actually lose the position anyway. So instead of forcing it, they reset. This is the key difference. Bad drivers drive moment to moment. Good drivers simulate outcomes in advance. Most drivers misunderstand consistency. They think it means drive the same every lap, and it doesn't. It means managing the load on the car so the performance stays stable. Tyres, weight transfer, slip angle, all of this is connected. Bad drivers spike the system, overslow the car, over-rotate, and over-accelerate, which creates higher tyre temperatures, more sliding, and ultimately less grip over time. Good drivers smooth that out. They operate just below the limit, not constantly over it. That's why their lap times don't feel off. More importantly, it gives them headroom, so when they need to push, they actually have something left. Wheel-to-wheel racing isn't about winning a corner, it's about controlling a sequence of corners. This is where most drivers completely misjudge situations. They'll defend aggressively into one corner, but destroy their exit. Or they'll attack into a low probability corner, and compromise the next 2. Good drivers think in chains. If I position here, I get the inside of the next corner. If I sacrifice this apex, I maximise the exit. If I stay close here, I create pressure later. They're not trying to win now, they're building inevitability. Now let's break down the common mistakes, and more importantly, why they happen. If you're hitting the rev limiter on exit, especially in traffic, it's usually not a gearing issue, it's a driving issue. What's actually happening is you're entering too slow, which forces you to compensate with aggressive throttle on exit. That creates a cycle: slow in, hard acceleration, engine spikes, but overall less speed carried. It feels fast because of the noise and acceleration, but your average speed is slower. Good drivers avoid this by maintaining minimum speed through the corner. They prioritise flow, not bursts, because momentum carries down the entire straight, and not just the first 20 meters. Not using the full track isn't just a small mistake, it fundamentally changes the geometry of the corner. If you don't open the entry or use the exit, your corner radius becomes tighter, which forces lower speeds, which increases steering input and increases tyre load. And now you're in a worse position before the next corner even starts. Good drivers treat track width as a resource. They expand the corner as much as possible to reduce the load on the car. Bad drivers unintentionally compromise it, and then they wonder when they're struggling for grip. Bad drivers see a gap and react to it. Good drivers create conditions for the gap. So let's break this down. A forced overtake usually means you're too far back, or you're offline, or you're relying on braking distance to make it work. This can lead to compromised exits, losing time, and often losing the position again. A well set up overtake looks completely different. You position the car in 1 or 2 corners earlier, you prioritise exit over entry, and you close the gap before the braking zone. So when you arrive, you're already alongside, or close enough that the move is inevitable. The move itself isn't the important part, it's the setup. Now, if you're recognizing these mistakes, especially the ones around momentum and forcing moves, there's a deeper problem underneath all of this. And it's something most drivers never realize. You're probably overdriving the car. That's why you're hitting the limiter. That's why you're not carrying the speed. And that's why overtakes feel forced instead of natural. So before you try and fix your racecraft, you need to fix that first. Watch this video here, the first signs you're overtaking, because once you understand that concept, everything in this video becomes easier to apply, and more importantly, you stop fighting the car and start controlling the race.